Things are looking pretty good here in my area.
Well, I love you, and I love everything you do.
It's a new day.
You guys are great. I love listening.
Good year, everyone.
You guys are leading the way, and it's up to me and the guy next to me.
You make it happen.
Everybody's looking forward to it, too.
We here at 1480 WHBC want to continue that work.
Honestly, the sun rose over our state, thanks in part to you.
On News Talk 1480 WHBC.
This is our year.
The following program is sponsored by the Medicine Center Pharmacies.
Good morning and welcome to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. I'm your host and pharmacist, Paul White. We're glad you joined us. Before we begin, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Mercy Medical Center and Studio Arts and Glass, and of course our technical producer, J.D. DeAngelis.
In the studio with me is Nancy Warmby, Executive Vice President of Medicine Center Pharmacies.
And our special guest this morning, Serene Krashuma, Program Coordinator for Mercy's Weight Management Program and registered and licensed dietitian, and Sarah Young, a successful patient who completed the Mercy Weight Management Program. Good morning, Serene and Sarah, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
So, according to the latest polling data available, 45% of Americans resolved to lose more weight and get in shape in this new year. I was one of them. For those of you in that 45% or considering weight loss, we want to share information with you today about the Mercy Weight Management Open House on Monday, January 13th from 3:30 p.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. This morning on the program, we will learn more about the open house and the programs that Mercy offers. We'd like to remind our listeners that today's program is also available on your podcast, which can be downloaded from the App Store on your mobile phone. Look for Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy, and you can listen to any of our programs anytime. If you have any questions you'd like addressed during the program today, please post them on our live Facebook feed.
So, welcome back to the show, Serene. You've been on twice before? Fourth time. Yeah. And thanks for bringing a fabulous guest. If both of you would please introduce yourselves and tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
So, I'm Serene. I am a registered dietitian at Mercy Medical Center. I work in the OptiFast program. We specialize in weight loss, weight maintenance, weight management, and as well as just helping people reach their goals of living a healthier life.
There's like three of you together in the office, right?
So we have our weight management office. We have, are you referring to diabetes education? We have a diabetes education department that will...
and you all kind of work together on them.
Yeah, and then we have outpatient dietitians.
Okay.
Yep. So we're there at Mercy to help you any aspect that you need. Awesome.
My name is Sarah. I'm 42 years old, a mother of 4, a grandmother of 1, and I went through the Mercy program for the past year.
Why did you make this decision? It's monumental, I'm sure.
Oh, sure. My weight was at an all-time high. It was affecting my sleep. It was affecting my life. Finally, I had gone to Mercy Occupational for a physical, which is required of my job. The Ohio Department of Transportation requires us to get that physical. And I got to the point that I almost didn't pass the physical. My blood pressure was borderline hypertensive. It was looking to take my job away from me next.
Now, in your profile, you travel a lot. Is that correct? So you're not stationed at one particular...
No, I'm an area field manager, so I drive all day, every day.
Okay. And you drive everything that U-Haul rents? Is that...
Originally, when I had obtained my CDL, I was a commercial truck driver. I was delivering the big pods that U-Haul rents. At this point, I'm driving a service rig, which is quite large all the time. I drive around doing repairs, opening and closing dealerships.
So the job's physically demanding.
Oh, absolutely. So, changing tires.
Oh, man, no kidding. Oh, gosh. Wow. Holy smokes, huh? Well, so, Serene, the holidays are behind us, and for some of us, it's time to stop ignoring what needs to be done, and focus on ourselves. Mm-hmm. So, tell us a little bit about weight loss programs and options you offer at Mercy.
So we can help people lose anywhere from 5 to 50 plus pounds. And I know you'll hear Sarah's story a little bit later about how we can help people lose even more than 50 pounds. And it's nice because we have a variety of options. So you could do one-on-one appointments with a dietitian. So one of us will sit down with you. We can customize a meal plan. Let's say you're just looking to lose a few pounds. You just want to tweak what you're eating. make sure that you're eating pretty healthy, we have that for you. We can do one-on-one nutrition counseling sessions. And then we have our medically monitored weight loss programs where you could lose anywhere from 30 to 50 plus pounds in 12 weeks. And that would use meal replacements. And I have some on display for those of you on Facebook Live. And we have bars, shakes, soups, and we can incorporate this with your food. Let's say you're so busy. I mean, Sarah mentioned truck drivers, for example. We see a lot of people with like, I'm so busy at work, I don't have time to stop and eat lunch, or I have to pack my lunch in a cooler, or I'm driving a truck, whatever it may be. These are great options. So we have so many different programs, and we can really tailor a program to you to fit your schedule to allow you to lose weight. So we're really there to help you because we know everyone's journey is a little bit different. Not everybody's going to have, the same structure, the same lifestyle. So we're there to help you out.
You think people in general are eating more healthy?
I think so, because with the technology that we have nowadays with social media, I think the resources are easier for us to find. And when we see somebody post, oh, I'm eating healthy, sometimes that motivates the next person to eat healthy. So I like to think so.
We just seem to see people constantly going through the fast food line,
Yes.
Some of the places where we have stores, the lines are packed constantly. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the fast food people came out with a veggie burger here lately and is promoting it big time on television.
Yes.
I'm wondering what your thought is on...
fast food, I don't necessarily think, fast food is going to be the killer if you eat it in moderation. If you go, let's say, and you get a grilled chicken sandwich, that would be a better option than if you went and you got a fried chicken sandwich. So if you're in a pickle and you don't have an option near you, we like you to make the best choices. So, for example, I have somebody I'm working with, and he says, I'm going to eat fast food, but I need your help figuring out what the best option for fast food is. So that's the thing, if it's part of your lifestyle and you are not going to change, I would love for you to change and not eat as much fast food, but if you are going to eat it, let's talk about, a healthier option. Let's talk about grilled chicken. Let's talk about, not having the pop on the side, because that's just going to raise your blood sugar.
So let's jump over to something else. How does your program differ from the keto program? That's been sort of in the wind here for quite a while, but I think it's kind of tapering off a little bit. So.
Yes. Yeah, I think now we're hearing a little bit less of it.
Yeah.
But it was big within the last couple of years. And you're right. It's very popular. And, we go through these fad diets, but if you think about it, what it is, it's eliminating a food group. Now, with our program, we're not eliminating any food groups in the sense we're having carb, we're having fat, we're having protein, which is our macronutrients. But we're not doing an overabundance of carb. So, for example, I've had people tell me, I'm doing the keto diet. I only eat 10 grams of carb a day. And I think to myself, oh, my goodness, that's less than one banana. One small banana is 15 grams of carbs. So if you think about it, you're kind of portioning that banana the whole day. But with our program, our full fast, for example, where you would just do, 5 of our meal replacements a day, you wouldn't do any other foods, you're at 90 grams of carbs. So if you compare, 10 grams to 90 grams of carbs, and you can lose 50 pounds in that 3-month, 12-week time frame, you're still decreasing your portions, decreasing how much carb, but you're doing it in a way that's going to stabilize your blood sugar. It's going to be a healthy way. So we technically, it's very similar to the keto diet in the sense that we allow your body to use that stored fat and break it down for energy. But we're doing it in a way that's a lot healthier for your body.
We see some products out there, and I don't know if you have a comparable product, but they call themselves, I'm talking about some liquids, okay, and they call themselves a product that balances your blood glucose.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Is that the real deal? Do they really work?
I think what they mean is the sense that, okay, you're not going to have something that's going to spike your blood sugar after you drink it. For example, like when you have a regular pop, it's going to spike your blood sugar after you drink it, and then and then your blood sugar is going to go down. And that's when you feel like, oh, I need more sugar at that point when your blood sugar decreases. So I think when they advertise that, they mean, it's going to keep your blood sugar more steady, more consistent. It's going to have carbs, it's going to have protein. You just still have to be careful of the added sugar that's in those products.
I think the one I've been using has got about 170 calories, something.
That's pretty typical. Ours are about 160 calories.
What, an 8-ounce bottle or 6 or something like that?
Usually it's about 8 ounces of fluid.
Okay. So I usually have half of one every morning. So I don't know. That seems to help some.
Fill you up.
Yeah.
A lot of times, those meal replacements, just like our OptiFast meal replacements, they have fiber in it, which is good because, typical Americans, we don't get enough fiber in our diet.
Yeah.
So we get those from fruits and vegetables. A lot of times we don't eat enough. So it's good to have that fiber. That's what helps fill you up.
You listen to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy.
You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy and your hosts, pharmacists Paul White and Brad White. Remember, you can get more information right now by visiting medshoprx.com. That's medshop.rx.com. We'll be back with more of Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy in just a moment.
Is CBD oil right for you? That may seem like a simple question, but the answers don't come from a convenience food store or a mall kiosk. Your Medicine Center pharmacist is the most accessible healthcare professional. Our pharmacists have been trained to provide expert CBD oil information to tailor therapies like CBD capsules, tinctures, lotions, and ointments to your particular need. We have the highest quality, organic, Colorado-grown, non-GMO, full-spectrum CBD oil products. Visit the Medicine Center pharmacies in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, or New Philadelphia.
With a heart attack, every second counts. Every moment the blood supply to your heart is cut off or reduced leads to heart damage or death. Mercy Medical Center can stop a heart attack in record time. Mercy is the only hospital in the nation that can open a blocked artery right in the ER, just minutes after arrival, saving lives and preventing further heart muscle damage. That's because Mercy's Emergency Chest Pain Center was America's first to achieve full accreditation and the first to install a fully functional cardiac catheterization lab just a few steps away from our ER doors. The average time in the U.S. from ER arrival to opening of a blocked heart artery is 64 minutes. At Mercy, thanks to our ER cath lab and the area's most experienced emergency heart care team, it's faster. We're capable of opening a blocked artery in as little as 5 minutes. If you have heart attack symptoms, get to Mercy. We can stop a heart attack in record time. To learn more, visit cantonmercy.org/heart.
Men like Paul White love Studio Arts and Glass. Why? We wrap all of his gifts. Gifts like hand-blown paperweights, ornaments, jewelry in stunning sterling silver and precious stones like amethyst and crystals. After 30 years, Studio Arts and Glass is known for creating and restoring stunning stained glass. Just ask Paul White. Studio Arts and Glass on Apple Grove and 77 in North Canton.
Are you tired of spending time sorting your medication? Hi, pharmacist Paul White for the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Whether you are a caregiver or personally take medications, our pill packets will change how you take your medication forever. Instead of multiple pill bottles, you'll want to receive one easy dispensing box that contains all of your medications in individual packets. Organized by date, time, with instructions clearly labeled, it's simple, convenient, and safe. Call or stop by your local Medicine Center pharmacies in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, and New Philadelphia, where wellness begins.
Welcome back to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. I'm talking with Serene Kursuna and Sarah Young as we learn about Mercy's weight management program. Have a question? Post it on our live Facebook feed. So, Sarah, what brought you to the Mercy weight program?
Again, the threat of losing my job due to requirements that I needed to pass in order to maintain a commercial driver's license. And the weight being at an all-time high began affecting my health all around. Sleep quality was not there. I was waking up with acid reflux, lack of energy for my kids. I think that visit to the occupational center, though, I had seen the poster for OptiFast for the second time, being reinstated with that physical. And that time it just said, I need to check this out.
So I'm not familiar with the requirements of a CDL license. So you have regular physical examinations? Or
every 2 years, the Ohio Department of Transportation requires that you see a physician, and they check your blood pressure, make sure you're safe to be on the road with.
Is that the key item, the blood pressure or glucose?
There are several things. The blood pressure, the weight. When the weight gets that high, they start thinking about sleep apnea because, we don't want truck drivers falling asleep driving due to lack of sleep. Mm-hmm. It begins to snowball all the requirements. And the more your weight climbs, the more scrupulous they are, and they start to cut back the amount of time that your physical is good for. You have to start coming in at a year maybe, or at 6 months, depending on what you're not passing.
I'm sure the job is, the driving and sitting and eating on the road and all that sort of thing is just really a stranglehold on their health. So one of the things I notice about most of my staff is they go out there for lunch every day, and I don't
think people realize. I know we had talked about this there. I don't think people realize how much money they spend.
Well,
that's just money alone with going out for lunch. But
you used to be able to get a $5 lunch, but not anymore.
No,
even
you're looking at close to $10.
I know, even at the fast food place, it's $7, $8, $9. If you sandwich, and a lot of people eat fries every day for lunch, and that sort of thing. So.
Just that switch to packing lunch. I mean, people don't realize, how many calories too, and how many grams of fat you're saving yourself at that point.
Yeah. So, Sarah, can you address that while we're talking about it? I know I've heard people mention before in the past that they maybe are afraid of a program like OptiFast from a cost perspective. Mm-hmm. Since you've been doing it, how did you find it affected your budget?
I found when I first looked into it, I thought as well I wouldn't be able to do it. When it's addressed online and you're doing your research, it gives you a lump sum for an entire program time period. It doesn't let you know that you can break it up. And they work with you, and we do this on a week-to-week basis. And I don't feel I'm risking anything that way either. Had I paid entirely up front and decided a week in, hey, this isn't for me, that was another thing I was thinking, how am I going to get my money back? Will I get my money back?
Yeah.
But breaking this up week by week has made it very affordable, and it costs me no more than eating on the road cost me at that point.
Is that the products that are on television that promote, this will fix your weight, da-da-da? Is it upfront money? Or
Those are a little bit different. With this, we want to make sure people are getting good results and it's working for them, and we do kind of medically monitored, so you're paying for like the doctor visit because you're seeing a doctor with all this. So it's kind of like, you're following the doctor regularly at this point. So it's a little bit different because it's, manufactured by Nestle, so it's for a medical clinic for weight loss specifically.
If I may, I had visited one other local, same concept, not the same product. Mm-hmm. I felt I received more of a sales pitch. I received a binder, and I was told if I could put $1,700 down that day, I could start the program. And if I couldn't, then I couldn't. And it got to the point they wanted to run my credit through CareSource, and they wanted me to call family, and they wanted to, what can we do before you leave? It was like a car salesman. This was so different when you walk in the door.
Interesting.
How about insurance, Serene? Does it offer any assistance?
Now, typically insurance doesn't cover programs like this, so we're set up for self-pay. But, Sarah made a good point. We want you to make sure, you're doing good. And people, maybe you want to lose more than 60 pounds, or 50 pounds, excuse me. So maybe they want to lose 60 pounds, maybe 100 pounds. So we have you go week by week. You pay week by week for all your services, too. So it's nice because, it's just kind of like your groceries. And if you're not eating any groceries, if you're doing our full fast program and you're just doing 5 meal replacements a day, it's just kind of similar to when you're paying for groceries.
So then you can tailor that as well, whether you're doing the full fast or a partial.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yes. So if you're doing a meal on your own, you just have to buy your groceries for a meal. And I sit down with you, and I have these hour-long appointments to prepare people for the program and what your meal should entail. So it's a lot of education. And the nice thing about programs like this is when you complete it, you have the tools of like, okay, my meal should prepared like this. I should have this much vegetables. I should have this much protein. I should have this much carb. So that's the nice thing is you have that education at that point to follow a healthy, lifelong diet.
Very good. So, Sarah, when did you... Oh, I'm sorry, Paul.
That's all right. Go ahead.
When did you start your weight loss journey?
September of 2018.
Wow. So you're a year and a half into this. Mm-hmm. Tell us how it started and progressed.
It started with my initial orientation. That got me so excited I wanted to start the next day. And that's basically how it went. I started the next day and didn't look back.
Wow.
Yeah. She's determined.
Yeah. I'm assuming as you started to lose weight and see results, that really fueled your desire to continue.
It helps you stick with the program. I mean, initially, it's water weight, but to lose 10 pounds that first week is amazing, And I mean, I'm sure everybody's different, but for me, 10 pounds was a lot real quick.
Oh, yeah. So. How has it affected your family?
It has increased a lot of positive communication. My children are much more aware of what they're eating without my coaching. They do what they see, what they're led. And by no means do they call me and beg me to bring home kale chips and hummus, but they stand there and they read, they read the label and they say, oh, a serving, this is how much is a serving. And, it's my daughter has been losing weight on her own. I'm pretty proud of her. She's 13 years old.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. It's bettered everything. It's bettered my personal relationship, bettered my job. I've become much more confident.
So I asked you earlier, I know for myself as a mom and a grandma, it's all about making your family happy and providing all this food. How do you adjust to maybe satisfying your family traditions and still balancing your new healthy lifestyle?
Throughout this, it hasn't bothered me to cook meals, continue to try new recipes, to just seeing what you've gained along the way. You just don't even want to put the spoon in your mouth.
So you were strict on this program. Yes. You didn't cook for yourself. You cooked for your family.
Right. While I was on this.
Gee, that's a tough one, man. Smell all that food. Gosh.
So how long were you in that part of the program where you were just solely?
I went beyond at my own choice. I would have been very satisfied with my results at the end of the 12-week period, but at my choice, I've gone beyond. And back to a different phase of the program and then back to fast, because my goals may be different than the next person's goals.
Very good. Was it hard to change your eating habits?
It's not hard to learn the concept of good choices. They provide excellent support and education through classes. So, no, but then again, learning yourself and learning impulse is an entirely different.
Yeah.
The nice thing, working with Sarah for the last year and a half, I guess, it's nice because you get to know the people one-on-one. They really become, like we have our OptiFast family. We get to know these people because we see them every week, and, we learn about them. But it's nice because they come in and they tell you, you know what, I'm learning about myself. I'm learning something new. I'm learning that I should, not eat this food. I'm learning this. And so it's nice because it's such a learning experience about yourself, too, that sometimes we don't take time to sit down and really think about or talk about.
Well, I know Sarah mentioned earlier that she noticed when she started to pace and felt stressful that might be a trigger.
Right. And that's something I have to learn how to deal with. That is one of the triggers that might make me impulse eat. I know what's right and wrong. If you offer me something, I'll pick it apart immediately. No, I can't have that. No. But when it becomes an impulse and anxiety, it turns me to have to reel myself in.
Yeah.
And continue. This is a continuing process. People ask me, when are you done? And that's the most frustrating question because it's
never
forever.
Done.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a sign on my door that says, this is not a short-term diet. It's a lifestyle, long-term lifestyle change. Because it really is.
Right.
Just with anything. If a doctor tells you got to take this medication for blood pressure, you're not going to take it for 3 months and say, all right, I'm done. You're going to take that for the rest of your life because you want your blood pressure to stay down for the rest of your life so you can have a long life. Same thing with eating healthy. You want to eat healthy for the rest of your life so you can have a long life. You don't have to worry about blood pressure, cholesterol, heart attacks, those kinds of things.
You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy.
You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy and your hosts, pharmacists Paul White and Brad White. Remember, you can get more information right now by visiting medshoprx.com. That's MEDSHOPRX.com. We'll be back with more of Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy in just a moment.
Hi, this is Brad White from the Medicine Center Pharmacy. If you have sore muscles or aching joints, you may want to consider a prescription pain-relieving cream available with a prescription at the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Our pharmacist can work with you and your physician to get topical pain creams that can be rubbed directly on the source, reducing inflammation and pain. Topical creams avoid troublesome side effects and dependency issues that can be caused by oral medications. The Medicine Center Pharmacy has an accredited compounding laboratory, and it is your source for custom medications. Custom compounded pain-relieving creams, available only at the Medicine Center Pharmacy, where wellness begins. Visit us at medshoprx.com for the pharmacy nearest you. That's medshoprx.com.
Is CBD oil right for you? That may seem like a simple question, but the answers don't come from a convenience food store or a mall kiosk. Your Medicine Center pharmacist is the most accessible healthcare professional. Our pharmacists have been trained to provide expert CBD oil information to tailor therapies like CBD capsules, tinctures, lotions, and ointments to your particular need. We have the highest quality, organic, Colorado-grown, non-GMO, full-spectrum CBD oil products. Visit the Medicine Center pharmacies in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, or New Philadelphia.
Are you tired of spending time sorting your medication? Hi, pharmacist Paul White for the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Whether you are a caregiver or personally take medications, our pill packets will change how you take your medication forever. Instead of multiple pill bottles, you'll want to receive one easy dispensing box that contains all of your medications in individual packets. Organized by date, time, with instructions clearly labeled, it's simple, convenient, and safe. Call or stop by your local Medicine Center pharmacies in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, and New Philadelphia, where wellness begins.
We've extended our most recent sale at the Half Off and Hot Buy store in Louisville and have added a lot of new items. All lift chairs are reduced to $199 with many in stock. All seasonal merchandise is drastically reduced, as well as a wide selection of health and beauty products, cough, cold, and vitamins. And shop our tool aisle and toy aisles to find more bargains. Take time to shop our store and you'll find many, many values. The Half Off and Hot Buy store in Louisville, next to the Medicine Center Pharmacy.
Your severe weather station. News Talk 1480 WHBC.
You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. I'm your host and pharmacist, Paul White.
In the studio with me is Nancy Warmby, Executive Vice President of Medicine Center Pharmacies.
Today, Nancy and I are celebrating Sarah Young's remarkable weight loss journey through Mercy's Weight Management Program. We've got a lot more to cover this morning, so let's get back to the show.
So, Sarah, just talking to you is so very inspiring. Tell us a little bit more about what you learned during your journey.
I've learned that putting myself first is not selfish. That's number one. Yeah. Respecting and loving yourself makes you a better mother, a better partner, a better friend.
Yeah. So very true.
I was saying, too, during the break, Sarah has inspired me because when I came back from maternity leave, Sarah had just started the program. And so hearing what she says every week is nice because I got to see, okay, I can get back to it. I can get back to my exercise. I can get back to, better time management because I see Sarah over here who makes time every week, to go. She's working out like crazy. She, at one point, I think when you started exercising, wasn't it twice a day you were exercising?
I'm getting back to it. That's where my goal takes me. I need to do it.
Yeah. So she has time for this. She has time for her family. It's just amazing. Her job demands so much of her, and she has time to balance all of that. So I thought to myself, okay, I have one child. I have no excuse. So it's been motivating for me as well because I'm learning from Sarah, too.
When do you sleep?
Very well, thank you.
Cook it all.
Very well.
When you cook all these meals, you're out exercising and all that sort of thing. What I really can't get over is that you cook all that food and you just don't start to eat it. That just really is. You cook up a burger or a steak or chicken or.
I try to make them eat more healthy, and the things that are more healthy, I would like to try. So I'm always asking them, "Is it good? Is it good?
Yeah,
smells good."
So what advice do you have to somebody who's looking to become healthier in the new year?
There's no better time than now. Tomorrow never comes. And do what's good for you and be kind to yourself.
What about the people that consume a lot of carbonated beverages? And you got 14 teaspoons of sugar in a can of Coke. I've made the transition over the years down to water from, Coke with 14 calories and sugar, went through diet stuff. Once in a while have one, it's thirst quenching, I guess.
Yeah, everything's okay in moderation, but you're right. When you decrease that sugar, a lot of people lose, a nice chunk of weight. Sometimes people come see me for nutrition counseling. That's one thing that I'll say right away. Okay, if you're having, beverages that have sugar, have drinks, it's best to cut those out because you can lose so much weight, even the diet ones. They're doing research now that they think you're still gaining weight when you drink diet beverages.
Well, they stimulate your appetizer. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that correct?
They really are learning more about what it does to your body. So some people do feel more hungry afterwards. And, it's good for people who have diabetes because it's not going to spike your blood sugar. But for the rest of the public, what they're seeing is if somebody switched from regular to diet, they tend to consume more, and then your body doesn't know what to do with all that fake sugar, so they think that you're digesting it just like you would regular sugar.
Oh.
And we see people gain weight when they have that switch. So just getting rid of all those carbonated beverages are nice. And if you want that carbonation, there's carbonated water. There's all different brands out there. There's carbonated water that you could try too.
Mm-hmm.
They're about non-caloric, right? I mean,
yes.
There must be a little bit of sugar in them, but
they the more recent ones use the stevia extract to sugar it, so it's plant-based, so it's able to have 0 calories, 0 grams of sugar. Mm-hmm.
I use a lot of stevia, and I think stevia is great.
It's wonderful.
In moderation. It gets too sweet, though, if you use too much. And like most of those sweeteners. So I made the transition over to coffee. I couldn't stand it at first with the sugar substitute.
Yeah.
And but I pretty much made the transition over. Tea, iced tea, that sort of thing. So. What about caffeinated beverages?
You can have caffeine. What we notice is more caffeine, people drink, the less water they're having. And when you don't have a lot of water, you're not feeling full. Water helps fill you up. I just had somebody this week say, I realized I'm drinking less water, so I feel more hungry. I find myself wanting to snack more. I swear to you, last night in our clinic, I had somebody tell me that. So it's interesting how water does play a big role, and we don't realize it. I mean, it affects not only our appetite, but so many disease states. So it's something that we want to make sure people drink plenty of it. So with our program, we insist you drink 64 ounces of water. That's your goal,
A day.
And some people need more, but we don't ever go less than 64 ounces of water. 2 quarts.
Wow. That's a lot of water.
Yep, but that's the general recommendation. Growing up, they always taught us 8 glasses of water a day. Same thing.
Yeah, sure. The wars against the sugar substitutes have been going on now for years. Like the first one was sucral, which they basically kicked off the market for some bogus type stuff. But now, which one is the most popular now?
Stevia is really picking up.
Okay.
Yeah, stevia is really picking up, and you'll see a lot of manufacturers are starting to use stevia because it's healthier. And with all of the technologies nowadays, the social media, people are demanding healthier stuff. They want to be healthier. They're demanding healthier. So manufacturers are having to become healthier, especially with the guidelines of the government. So stevia, you're going to see it even more and more and more.
I see few carbonated beverages with stevia. It must be more expensive, I guess, to use that product as opposed to a chemical.
I would guess. And when you're used to the taste of, those big brands with high fructose corn syrup, if you switch that, not many people, you're going to get resistance with any change. So I don't know if many people would like that. But what you can buy in the grocery store is you can buy pops that have actual sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup in it.
Yeah.
So you don't have, that it's still sugar, but it can be a healthier form of it. They're more expensive, and not all stores carry it, but it's an option. I mean, with anything, stevia is going to be the better option.
What's the issue with the high fructose as opposed to regular sugar?
It's
why sugar over fructose? Or
just like with anything, the more the more chemicals you add to it, the more you manufacture it. It's not really anything true. If you get raw sugar, okay, your body's going to react better to it than if you get something that's even more chemically processed, like the high fructose corn syrup.
Okay. It's just all of a sudden, it's in the last couple of years, they've been beaten up on the fructose, which most people really don't know the difference.
And that's why, social media has really impacted the food industry, because when one mom says, oh my gosh, I can't believe there's high fructose corn syrup in my child's cough syrup, right? Then the other mom's like, oh my goodness, me too. And then it starts this whole trend. And then now we have on the radio, I just heard driving here this morning, a company was saying, oh, well, our corn syrup doesn't have high fructose corn syrup, our cough syrup has no high fructose corn syrup, no alcohol. So when you have people, push back, the manufacturers are going to give you a healthier option.
Well, it's a good thing the alcohol's come out of those products.
Yes.
It's come out of mouthwashes.
Yeah, you don't want to give your 7-year-old alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. So Okay, Serene, if someone is interested in your program, what's the next move?
They can just call us to come in for a free information session. We just go over the program options that we have. You know, like Sarah mentioned, it's not really a sales pitch. We just want to inform you of what we offer. So they can just give us a call. Myself or Linda are in the office Monday through Thursdays. Our number is 330-588-4854. Or you can visit our website, which is cantonmercy.org/weight loss. And on there, it talks about our program, talks about our staff members, talks about our success story. But then there's also a spot where you can submit your name, your email, your phone number, and we can respond to you with more information about what we offer. And then I know earlier Nancy mentioned we have our open house coming up on Monday, January 13th. So not this coming Monday, but the following Monday from 3:30 to 6. It's at Mercy inside Mercy Hall, which is the building behind the main parking deck. And if you want to give us a call, again, we can go over all that for you. But at that open house, we're going to have you sample our OptiFast meal replacements. We're going to talk about the programs we offer. You can meet our staff members. And again, you can call us 330-588-4854.
Okay.
Is exercise part of your program at Mercy?
It is. I'm glad you asked that. It is. So we give employees, for example, that do our program, a membership to the fitness center at Mercy, because we do have that option for employees. And then for community members, we give them a membership to our Stat Care in North Canton. They have an exercise facility on the side of it, and we give them a membership there. And it's nice because, it helps to get them started. It helps to figure out, okay, what kind of exercise can I do? They have an orientation with the exercise specialist there, and the exercise specialist will teach them, okay, if you want to target your arms, these are the machines you should use. So it's a nice session that they can take advantage of.
Can they swim? Can you use the swimming?
I have to check on that. I'm not 100% sure. But they do have a pool there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarah, do you exercise at the Stat Care?
I did take my certificate from the OptiFast program, and I did go to the Stat Care and take some time with the personal trainer there, who did help me broaden my knowledge of exercises quite a bit. But I'm not from the Stark County area. I only work in the Stark County area, so I'm a member of a home gym near my house.
Oh, very good.
I guess it's time for our final break. You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy.
Remember, you can get more information right now by visiting medshoprx.com. That's MEDSHOPRX.com. We'll be back with more of Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy in just a moment.
Men like Paul White love Studio Arts and Glass. Why? We wrap all of his gifts. Gifts like hand-blown paperweights, ornaments, jewelry in stunning sterling silver and precious stones like amethyst and crystals. After 30 years, Studio Arts and Glass is known for creating and restoring stunning stained glass. Just ask Paul White. Studio Arts and Glass on Apple Grove and 77 in North Canton.
Is CBD oil right for you? That may seem like a simple question, but the answers don't come from a convenience food store or a mall kiosk. Your Medicine Center pharmacist is the most accessible healthcare professional. Our pharmacists have been trained to provide expert CBD oil information to tailor therapies like CBD capsules, tinctures, lotions, and ointments to your particular need. We have the highest quality, organic, Colorado-grown, non-GMO, full-spectrum CBD oil products. Visit the Medicine Center pharmacies in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, or New Philadelphia.
With a heart attack, every second counts. Every moment the blood supply to your heart is cut off or reduced leads to heart damage or death. Mercy Medical Center can stop a heart attack in record time. Mercy is the only hospital in the nation that can open a blocked artery right in the ER, just minutes after arrival, saving lives and preventing further heart muscle damage. That's because Mercy's Emergency Chest Pain Center was America's first to achieve full accreditation and the first to install a fully functional cardiac catheterization lab just a few steps away from our ER doors. The average time in the U.S. from ER arrival to opening of a blocked heart artery is 64 minutes. At Mercy, thanks to our ER cath lab and the area's most experienced emergency heart care team, it's faster. We're capable of opening a blocked artery in as little as 5 minutes. If you have heart attack symptoms, get to Mercy. We can stop a heart attack in record time. To learn more, visit cantonmercy.org/heart.
Hi, Paul White from the Medicine Center Pharmacy. From 1976 to the new year, 2020, we've been part of the Canton community. This year, we celebrate 44 years of service. Thank you for your business and continued support of the Medicine Center Pharmacies. A lot has changed in the pharmacy world over the past 44 years, but one thing hasn't: our commitment to your health. Stop by your local Medicine Center Pharmacy in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, or New Philadelphia, where wellness begins. Welcome back to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. I'm your pharmacist, Paul White. Thanks for joining us, and let's stick back to the final portion of the show.
Okay, so we've all heard this guidance on how many servings of fruits and vegetables we're supposed to have every day.
Yes.
What is a serving, and are there some fruits and vegetables that are better than others?
Good question. This is something that people mix up a lot with the vegetables, for example. So when I say vegetables, I notice people tend to assume I'm saying corn and peas and beans and
mashed potatoes.
Yes, people always tell me, I eat so many vegetables, especially corn. That's the big one. But those are the starchy vegetables. So those are essentially considered as a carbohydrate, just like bread is considered a carbohydrate or pasta is considered a carbohydrate. When we want to encourage people to eat more vegetables for the fiber and to fill you up on lower calorie options too, but also get the nutrients from the vegetables, we're talking, broccoli, zucchini, kale, spinach. There's just so many onions, mushrooms, tomatoes. So we're talking about those that don't raise your blood sugar, things you typically find in a salad. And I think that a lot of people, don't realize how much that really does fill you up. So if you add those to your meals or you start off with a salad, you're less likely to eat as much carbohydrates, as much rice, as much pasta, because it's more filling for you. So we want you to have, ideally we say 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And when we break it down, I say 2 fruits a day. So like a fruit would be, 1 small banana, 1 small apple, half a cup of cut up fruit or a cup of berries. So, having 2 servings of that a day. And then with your vegetables, we say 3 servings at least. If you have twice the amount of vegetables that you need, that's only going to be about anywhere from 5 to maybe 15 calories. So it's not going to give you many calories at all. So if you have, half a cup of cooked vegetables is a portion, 1 cup of raw vegetables is a portion. So if you have 2 servings at dinner, 1 serving at lunch, it's really not that much to add, but your body does really appreciate that. So it's really, really important to add that to your diet.
Hey, I know there are some of us who are really bad at snacking in the evening.
Yes.
Have any tips for that?
That's a big one. And I work a lot with that with nutrition counseling.
Do you have a night candy bar here?
Hey, you can use the chocolate one. See, there you go. Curb your appetite. But, it's what we're snacking on a lot of times is one food group. So we're getting, the carbs. And we don't feel as full because we're not having anything, filling with it. We're not getting fiber. We're not getting protein from it. We're not getting the healthy fats more so. So if we're snacking, we're snacking on either chips, we're snacking on something sweet, and that's going to be the carbohydrate. So I think a lot of times people snack more and more and more because they're not full. And what I've seen, too, with these one-on-one nutrition counseling appointments is that people sometimes are missing a food group in their dinner, and that's what leads them to snacking afterwards because they're not having a filling dinner. So then they want to snack. Yeah. So, snacking isn't necessarily going to be a bad thing. It just depends on what you're choosing. So sometimes people eat dinner too early, and then they need a snack before they go to bed.
So what you're saying is that a wide variety of an evening meal is sort of tricks your brain.
Yes,
that you don't need a snack.
And satisfies your stomach.
Yeah, okay.
And that water really makes a difference, especially in that evening time. People tend to forget about water, and water is what fills you up, so you're not going to snack as much. People know, if I tell somebody, okay, you get 200 calories in the evening time to have a snack. But I notice is at first, somebody may say, okay, well, I had, 15 M&Ms, let's say. But then as they progress and as I work with them, they come to realize, oh my gosh, I can have a cheese stick, and I can have a hard-boiled egg, and I can have a banana, and I can have, some pineapple, and that's 200 calories. Versus if I had 15 M&Ms. So, the quality of your snack, too, makes a difference. Yeah. So I say, have a healthy fruit, have a healthy protein like a hard-boiled egg or a cheese stick or something like that, and that's really what your body's telling you. It needs the natural sugar, the natural carbs more than anything else, but also pairing it with protein to fill you up. So it's very similar to, our meal replacements. For an Optifast product, you're essentially getting a healthy carb and a healthy protein. So that's kind of what you want to replace with food.
So I think the first step is the hardest, right?
Oh, yes. Right.
What advice, Sarah or Serene, do you have to someone who's struggling to take that first step or isn't ready to do exactly what you said, commit to themselves? And I think those were really powerful words that you stated. I mean, it really is about making yourself a priority.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I can go ahead and start with that. If you set small goals, what we find is that if you set small, measurable goals, okay, because if you set a goal, okay, I'm going to drink more water. Well, how do you know how much water you're drinking? So if you measure it, and let's say, you hear this show and you're like, okay, well, I don't really drink much water. So let me start off by adding, a cup a day. So I'm going to make sure every day I drink a cup for a week. And then next week I'm going to add another cup. You do that, and then by the end of the month, you're having half your water intake that you weren't having before. Mm-hmm. So if you set those small goals, it doesn't seem so harsh. But if you come and you say, okay, well, I need to change everything about how I eat, well, that's hard. You may not stick to it as well as if you say, okay, well, I'm going to cut out my creamer in my coffee, my French vanilla creamer, and I'm going to start to add low-fat milk. Okay? So you may, decrease the amount of creamer you put, do half creamer, half milk over the course of 1 week. And then the next week, cut back on creamer, add a little bit more milk. And by the third week, you're having all milk, and it doesn't bother you. So it's those small changes that really add up. Do you have anything to touch on that, Sarah?
It was beautiful.
We're getting kind of tight on time, but what about alcohol consumption? And what role does sleep play in this scenario?
So alcohol adds a lot of extra calories. So we tell people, it's best to avoid alcohol, really, when you think about it, because, you're just adding a chemical substance into your body, okay? So ideally, general recommendation is 1 glass a day for women, 2 beverages for men. But really, when we avoid it, our body does better. So limiting it as much as possible. In regards to sleep, you have a hormone called leptin, okay? And that hormone suppresses your appetite. When you don't sleep enough, okay, your leptin is going to be, more so non-existent, or it's going to be too low. And so then you're going to feel more hungry. You don't have something suppressing your appetite. So when you have that off balance in your hormones, you're just going to have more hunger in that sense. So you just have to be careful. 7 hours really a day, it's hard to get, for a lot of us, but the more so that we get that, the better we are with our health and our sleep and our appetite.
Lots of talk about melatonin and helping you sleep.
Yeah.
Do you suggest that? I mean, I'm sure some of these people that come in for your program are having issues sleeping as they move down into the, weight loss.
Yeah, you're right. What we tried to work on, avoid caffeine after a certain time, avoid screen time, that's a big thing that we hear. And then if we get to the point where we're saying, okay, you need something a little bit more, I think melatonin is perfectly fine to try. It's natural sleep aid. So
I noticed they've pushed the strength of it in our stores clear up to 200 or something like that. So it's I don't think that it's needed,
Correct.
if you will, but I think...
Start small, I would say, with that.
Yeah, like 10 or something like that.
Yeah, start very small because you're not used to it. So once you add it, you have to see how your body's going to react.
Guess what? We're out of time.
All right. Well, thank you for having us. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
Do we have time to tell us the date and time again of your open house?
Yes, it is Monday, January 13th from 3:30 to 6 p.m., Mercy Hall, Mercy Medical Center. You can give us a call, 330-588-4854, to register.
Okay. Thank you, our special guest, Serene Krasuna, Program Coordinator, Mercy Weight Management, and a registered and licensed dietitian, and Sarah Young. We'd like to remind our listeners, if you suspect you have a medical issue, please contact your healthcare provider. Thanks to our sponsors, Mercy Medical Center, Studio Arts and Glass, and, of course, our technical producer, J.D. DeAngelis. As always, we thank our listeners for joining us on Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Have a happy New Year, folks.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy and your hosts, your pharmacists Paul White and Brad White. Remember, you can get more information right now at medshoprx.com. That's medshop.rx.com. Be sure to join us next Friday at this time for Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. The preceding program was sponsored by the Medicine Center Pharmacies.